I've been meaning to do this for a while and thought, you know what, I should make a video when I do it. And this is a really common problem with succulents of all varieties, but hanging baskets in particular, and the ones that seem to drape over the side, like this lovely string of tears here. It seems extra common that this happens, and, well, that it's problematic, I should say. It always happens. And what that is that the soil settles. And your stems are left kind of hanging in limbo, and then they have a longer way to go down the side of the pot to get the dirt. And what ends up happening a lot of times is along the edges here, these stems, especially if you don't water and they get a little thirsty occasionally or something like that, the stems will dry up and detach from the roots, and you'll be left with this lovely stringing, plant, but you don't realize it's not attached to the root. And so what I like to do, which I've got a lot of little stems here, but what I like to do every once in a while is just put a little bit more in. And so I thought I would just do a quick video while I was doing that. All right, so I'm gonna give you a good little look. Actually, I wonder if I can, no, never mind. I'm not gonna take these off. I'll just tilt it up here. And you can see it's just, about an inch or an inch and a half, probably not even that much, about an inch down. And I like a little bit of room, but I don't like a lot. And what I'm using for this is Gritty Mix, which I still haven't done a video on, and I will do that soon. But the reason I'm using this is because it's, well, for multiple reasons. First off, it holds nutrition really well, and these stems tend to get a bit fragile. And so I like having something that doesn't hold a ton of moisture, but will hold a little bit of moisture and nutrition around the base of these stems. And also this way it doesn't just get filthy dirty on my pearls like putting regular potting soil would. But I do use regular potting soil on multiple other plants that I do this with, so you can use whatever you generally use. But for me, I'm just going to fill in this top little bit with the Gritty Mix. And some of them just get a little hole and wiggle it down in. Gritty Mix, for anyone that's wondering here, it is a mixture of pumice, bark, and granite. And now that I'm looking at it, I think there's another clay in it that I spaced on. I was thinking it was only 3 ingredients, the pumice, the bark, and the granite, but I'm thinking it's also, what is that clay that they use in Japan a lot? It's this creamier colored stuff, and I'm just blanking out. I've never used it myself, and I'm blanking on the name of it. But so I'm thinking there's 4 ingredients in the Gritty Mix, but it's balanced really nicely for most succulents. Supposedly, I haven't used a lot of it yet, and that's why I ordered this and was going to do the video on it. But the pumice and the other the bark helps hold a little bit of moisture and also nutrition. I may do a video on soaking pumice and supercharging it. All right, so that looks pretty good, if you can see the top there. And so what this will do is just provide a layer of cover for those stems, and then the part that we just covered will be allowed to root out. It'll be plenty of air circulation can get in because it's really a loose mix. Whatever you put on top, you want it to be loose. You don't want to put anything really heavy on top, even if the stems are kind of dry and sad looking. More air is always better, especially when you're trying to get things to root, and that's the goal. So then I can loop a few of these hanging stems back over on the top, and then they can root back into the top and give me a really good healthy base to keep growing out of, instead of just the long stems only having the roots at the end. And this just seems to keep pots healthier for longer. At least here where I live, having a little bit more, I just went blank. Sorry, my brain just had a total freeze. Filling in the soil with a loose mix so that it has more ability to root on top with the stems that are growing, you know, that are winding about, and the new shoots that it puts out, rather than just having the single end, you know, stems hanging out. Having kind of a more dense mat on top helps. And if your soil is too far below your pot line, the branches that crisscross over on top are never going to root. And to speed up their rooting, taking a little wire and like a paper clip, just making a U shape and using it to just kind of pin a stem just to where it's in contact with the soil is a great way to ensure that that these stems do root, if you want to do that, which I usually do ever so often. Alrighty, that is it for this video. This guy's looking great. I'm going to give him a good soak. He's nice and dry, and I wanted to wait until after I did this to give him a soak, and so I'm going to do that now. And I will talk to you all soon, and happy growing.